Hi, I am Steph from Soccer Girl Goals, and we're back with our career series. Today, we'll be speaking with Cheng Lynn, who is a lawyer practicing in Singapore and also represents Singapore Law Society, also known as Law Soc, in football. Lynn, I know that as a lawyer, your time is very precious, so thank you for giving us your time today
Thank you
and
for
not
having me.
charging. Yeah, and thank
No,
you for
no,
not charging us.
no. No, certainly not.
Okay, let's quickly get started. In this first segment, we'll find out more about how Lynn started playing football. So, Lynn, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself first. So, like what you are doing now.
Okay. Thanks very much again for having me. I do hope that I would be of some use to the people who are watching this video today lah. Okay, so my name is Lynn. I am a third year associate, litigation associate in a mid-sized firm in Singapore. So the work I do generally pertains to civil litigation. I do play soccer for the Law Society team. I came across them while I was a law student in SMU. Prior to that, I did play football for my JC. So actually, my footballing years has been around maybe about 8 to 9 years thereabout. Currently, I'm on rehab from a torn ACL, so haven't been in action recently, but hopefully can get back to that soon lah. So I got started with football in JC, but I did always want to try it lah. I had always seen my family watching football, and it just seemed quite fun to kick a ball. So actually, my interest started as a young kid, but never really had the opportunity in secondary school to participate in this, except for PE lessons lah, which then gave me an insight to football and also introduced me to the JC team who came and gave. I do recall the JC team came when we were in Sec 4 to give a soccer clinic lah, and that's how I got introduced to them, and then I joined them for trainings. I think towards the end of Sec 4, and then after that I joined the team in JC1 lah, and then that's when it all started.
Then, what do you love about football?
Now that you've asked this, I think it's quite hard to pinpoint exactly what, but I do remember like, enjoying the feeling of just kicking a ball, running along the field, and when I was watching TV, football on TV, I used to think that all those sliding tackles and those free kicks were very fun, very cool, and all those saves by goalkeepers, they were also quite impressive, and it's just it just seemed like a very fun game to me. People always say, "Oh, I don't understand why are these people running after 22 people running after a ball." But actually, there's a lot of I would say there's a lot of strategy and thinking into it. It's not just people running after the ball, and I think what I do like about football is that you know it's actually quite possible to do accomplish a lot with a team lah. You don't need to have the best skills, don't need to have the best players around, but you can work within what you have, you strategize, and then you play as a team. I've had some matches where we've successfully managed to, hold them to a draw or even edge out a win. So that's what I actually like about football. It probably applies to other sports as well, but for my experience is football, like anything can be done. Uh, it doesn't mean that once you are deemed to be the weaker team, you're bound to lose lah.
What were some of the challenges you faced in your football journey?
Wow, it's quite a few lah. Mostly, happened when I was a student actually. So first and foremost, it's actually getting to the sport, getting to be able to play the sport, was in fact a tall ordeal. Uh, I remember when I first wanted to join, I don't think it was very my parents didn't really think that I should be doing this lah. They never thought that girls could be playing or should be playing, and the trip and whether the training would be manageable. because generally sports CCAs tend to have quite a hectic training schedule. So I did remember when I was trying to get into the team for as a JC1 student. Prior to that, I went out and secretly bought some football boots, like from some dingy shop somewhere, just so that I could try, and then like couldn't let people know. But then after that, when I joined the team in JC, I realized that most of the girls face the same problem, actually hiding this from their parents, or trying to appease their parents, that just because they play this, and just because they get tanner, nothing's going to change. They're still going to study. They're still going to be on top of things lah. So that's the first one, actually, getting approval to play the game. But after that, they realized that I had passion for it lah. I really wanted to do it, and so they just like, okay lor, they just relented, and then they supported me lah towards throughout my footballing journey as a student. So moving on to other challenges. As a student, certainly the difficulty was with managing studies lah. As a JC student, it was quite, I would say, scary, because the big matches were, I remember, I think middle of the year. And then at that point in time, people were gunning up for A levels already. And so the teachers were also putting some pressure on us. I remember there were like, what do you call them? Common tests, right? CTs, common tests. So obviously I flunked it lah, because I didn't even know what was going on. That was quite tough, because I remember we were training quite intensely, I think around 3 times a week. And every time when I go home, I'm just very tired. Like my whole body is just like shutting down already. And I remember lying in bed with just an ice pack here and there, and just like not able to physically come up to sit up and study. And because that was also, we're gunning up for, I think, A division, so we were really putting our heart and soul into it lah. So my mind wasn't really switched on for school, or rather I thought it was switched on, but probably not as switched on as I could have been. Having said that, however, eventually A levels happened, and I survived through the skin of my teeth. I managed to pull through painfully. So that was the one-off incident in A levels lah. Then came uni, which was more like a constant pain. Because of 4 years, every semester you expect finals that contribute to your grades. And every semester there will be a tournament. So then that was also quite tiring lah. There were a lot of readings to do in law school. Tremendous amounts of reading. I don't think I actually went through all of them. Yeah, probably didn't. Really too much. It's really too much to read. So that was a bit of a struggle as well. I remember going to the library very early, trying to get in some readings before class started, because then at night I had training. So I'll be in school from morning till when my class ended. Then after that in the evening, go for soccer, and then go home, wash, rinse, repeat lah. So at the back of my mind, it was always like, will my grades be able to make it lah? Especially since law school is quite competitive. Your grades matter. And also there's a minimum requirement lah for you to hit. If not, you will not be able to take the bar exam. So I think those were one of the more significant challenges I faced while trying to juggle both, soccer as well as my other commitments lah as well. Yeah.